So please, click that subscribe button. Let us begin. So, the expose by Slender presents various types of accusations, starting with absolutely irrelevant information that shouldn't have anything to do with the investigation, but we will cover it too, and ending with me allegedly using multiple cheating functions like silent aimbot, triggerbot, and others in my own videos. Let's talk about the relevant stuff first, because for some reason it's in the very beginning of the expose. Slender mentions one of my videos titled "This Cheater Only Died Once," where I was playing against a random cheater and his pocket medic friend. The questionable part here is me adding this little image as proof that these two players were friends. The thing is, this green friend mark comes from a cheat client named Region, and Slender points this out in his video, showing a few examples to confirm that it is in fact a Region feature. He then says this: seeing as how Vorabi is indifferent to this being a known cheat feature, we can make the assumption that there was a friend, a third party, that sent the screenshot to him, and whoever it was that sent the screenshot is a cheater. Unless it was Vorabi that took the screenshot, which I'm doubtful of. Alright, now let me explain. Again, I don't see how this is relevant, and I guess the idea here is proving that I gather information from cheaters? How is this news to anyone? I've been gathering information from a cheater named Midnight for years, for example, ever since I uploaded my Hacker Police episode on him. It should be common knowledge because I credit him in my videos. My man Midnight has been terrorizing Ryan for quite a while, and thanks to Midnight, who also helped me with finding some more evidence. Also, as my body officer Midnight stated, and he is one of my Discord moderators who always helps out the members of my server learn more about cheating. I've also credited another cheater named GoTwin because he explained many aspects of cheating to me in details which I hadn't known about before. I'll separately mention an opinion from a guy named GoTwin. He has played around 20,000 hours of Tf2, and most of these hours he hasn't played legit. But whatever. The important and funny part here is that this image wasn't even sent to me by a cheater or anyone else. It came from one of the screenshots of that cheater that I played against in my video. I found it myself after checking their fucking Steam profile. Yeah, unfortunately the original screenshot has been deleted, but I managed to find a different one from the same guy's profile where we can see another Region message that says "you." But I wasn't satisfied, so I decided to message the guy directly and asked him to share the original screenshot. And guess what? He did. For 1 key. Oh no, Vorabi is paying cheaters now, confirmed? In my personal opinion, this part of the expose sets the tone of the whole investigation, because Slender had an option to ask me or anyone else in my Discord server, where he's been since 2022 by the way, about the origin of the image. He wouldn't have lost anything by doing so, but he decided not to and used it at the very beginning of his video as shitty evidence that I've had contact with cheaters, which I've never even denied to begin with. Malicious intent or not, it's up to you to decide. Now, let's move on to the actual cheating evidence against me. I won't go in the same order of clips as Slender did in his video because it's very messy and hard to follow, so first I'd like to talk about projectile weapons and then move to heatscan weapons. The first clip, which comes from my video called "They Finally Caught Me Cheating." The layers of irony we're dealing with here. Getting exposed from a video where I'm getting exposed. The clip shows me hitting a direct hit air shot on a flying demo man. The accusation here is me supposedly using projectile silent aimbot. Slender added the circle to imitate the range of silent aimbot, which means that if there's an enemy within this range, my rocket should fly directly at them, no matter where I aim, without any visible static. That's how silent aimbot works, which is exactly what we see in the clip, right? My crosshair is a bit to the left of the demo man, but my rocket magically goes right after his ass. Well, there is no magic here, really. This happens because I fucking move. I move to the left after I shot a rocket, which is why my crosshair goes left from my rocket. I don't stand still. Yeah, it might be difficult to tell because I'm looking at the static skybox and there are no other obstacles, so it feels weird, but why don't you look over here? You can literally see me moving to the left. I even replicated it for you. Oh wow, look, my silent aimbot triggers on invisible enemies in the air. I guess souls of cheaters or some shit. Crazy, right? Look at how far away from my crosshair the rockets go. Wow. What's even crazier is that this exact moment has already been discussed before in my Discord server in the Hacker Police channel, where I did a step-by-step breakdown of it. Slander was by far not the first one to get confused by this moment, so I should probably let this one slide. Nah. Did you really think I was retarded enough to use silent aimbot in my live video recordings? Who the fuck do you think I am? How could this idea even cross your mind? Me always making fun of closet cheaters who are stupid enough to use silent aimbot, and then me using silent aimbot myself and leaving it in my videos. What the fuck are you smoking, bro? It's outrageous because many commenters generally think that this clip is the most damning piece of evidence. It's gotta be hard to live with a brain test. Okay, moving to the next clip, showcased by Slander from the same video of mine. It shows me spotting an invisible enemy spy and spamming rockets and shotgun in the hope of killing him. Eventually I do, with this shot. The accusation here is trigger bot. Projectile fucking trigger bot. Jesus Christ. There is no such thing as projectile trigger bot in this game. Not a single Tf2 cheating plan has this function. It does not exist. And no, I won't let you use he just named it wrong, you know? He's not supposed to know the exact name, and it is still some sort of aimbot bullshit, because Slander explains it exactly like how one would explain trigger bot for heatscan weapons, which does exist. And let me remind you what heatscan trigger bot is. It's a cheat feature that basically clicks the left mouse button for you. You can throw your mouse around like crazy, but if trigger bot is active and your crosshair finds a target, the cheat will perform a shot. And the reason why it doesn't exist for projectile weapons is because projectiles take time to travel, while bullets in Tf2 don't. How do you imagine projectile trigger bot gameplay to look like anyway? Because it would look something like this, where a cheater constantly moves their crosshair around targets, hoping for trigger bot to activate on the point where the cheat predicts the target will be in the future. Imagine that and tell me, will this shit be playable? And will you remain sane after aiming like this for longer than 5 minutes? With this out of the way, let's get back to the clip. As I've said, Slander did not confuse the cheat name. He actually believes that projectile trigger bot is a thing, which is why he explains it as if it was heatscan trigger bot. His phrasing is confusing, so I'll translate it into human language for you. Frame number 1, my crosshair is of the enemy spy's model. Frame number 2, my crosshair is directly on the invis spy's model, and that's where I shoot. And then, the continued swiping motion is indication of trigger bot. Have you ever played Soldier in your life, Slander? Or has been a pyromane completely fried your fucking brain? You almost never stop your crosshair at the same point where you click your mouse one button when you flick. The continued swiping motion you're referring to doesn't prove shit. Ironically enough, a similar clip of mine has also been discussed already in my Discord server in the Hacker Police channel. But that one was shared by me because I also found it looking weird while editing another video of mine. So I decided to share it with everybody and explain it so people know what's up. I also decided to airshot some flying bots and flick like I normally do for about 15 minutes to see what my flicks would look like. And here you go. Just as expected, my crosshair never stops at the point where I click M1. But then, I came up with an even better idea, because anyone can try this by themselves. Launch Tf2, connect to a server, go soldier with any rocket launcher, find a wall, imagine that this dot is your target, turn 180 degrees away from it, and try hitting the target with very fast 180-degree flicks. No way, you are now a closet cheater too, using projectile trigger bot while finding a fucking dot on a wall. Next, Slander shows another clip from the same video of mine, which allegedly showcases me using projectile silent aimbot from someone else's perspective. There I am, aiming up front, but my rocket goes to the right. Moments like this have also been discussed already in my Discord server in the Hacker Police channel. For instance, here is a screenshot of some random huntsman sniper aiming in this direction, but his arrow flies right at us. My homie Midnight explained it perfectly. There are a couple reasons as to why this isn't exclusive to P silent aimbot users. For starters, that's you, Slander, listen carefully. The models you see in-game are lag compensated and interpolated. Any movement, any flicks, anything will be delayed and smoothed out on your screen, making it so there is always some distance between the player's view angle and the projectile itself. TLDR, what you see is not what your enemy sees. I've discussed this point multiple times. Based Midnight, just as always. Here is proof of Midnight's words. I asked a friend of mine to join the game with me so I could watch him do the same thing. Wonder why you didn't do it, Slender? It wasn't that hard to fact check your trash. Oh, but what you did instead was write something mental about this clip in the description. Regarding the P-Silent example from the spy's POV. Earlier in the original video, the shot looks normal from the perspective of Vorobin. And the reasoning behind the shot looking normal is because of anti-OBS. This guy is a massive fucking dipshit. Anti-OBS is a cheat feature that removes cheating visuals from your recordings. You would still see everything your cheat shows to you, like the cheat menu, wall hacks, silent aim, whatever, V-circle and other stuff, but your recording software would not see it. That's it. This fucking guy, however, thinks that anti-OBS also hides silent aimbot. What in the world is this heresy? You were one Google search away from looking like an absolute buffoon, Slender. There is one last projectile weapon clip that the accuser took from my video title, A Huntsman Tryhard Makes People Angry. Apparently, this title still holds weight 3 years later. And the accusation here is yet another projectile trigger bot moment. And I think there is no need to explain this one because I just be repeating myself. Okay, so we're done with the projectile part. And now, gentlemen, let's address the heat scan weapon accusations, which can be divided into two categories. Trigger bot and aim bot. Yeah, sure, because if I don't use silent aim, which is the second easiest cheat to spot, I apparently use aim bot, which is the first. Speaking of trigger bot accusations, Slender prepared some clips of me hitting headshots. For example, this one, where I landed a nasty headshot on a demo. As I've stated earlier, Slender is explaining the hitscan trigger bot exactly as he explained the non-existent projectile trigger bot. He thinks that if in one frame of the video my crosshair is off the head hitbox and in the very next frame my crosshair gets onto the head hitbox and I shoot, it's trigger bot. He calls it the one-tick input. This reminds me of something. Oh yeah, it reminds me of the Fat Magic case, where a different Tf2 YouTuber, Fat Magic, was accused of hitting tick-perfect headshots all the time. Here's a short recap of that drama. Fat Magic was proven not guilty, because tick-perfect headshots are a lot easier to hit than you think. In fact, they happen all the time without you noticing. In case you're not familiar with the terminology, a tick is kind of like a frame. Valve Tf2 casual servers run at 66.666 ticks per second, which also leads to slight desynchronization between the 60 FPS video recordings for YouTube and the 66 tick rate of Valve servers. So we're always missing roughly 6 frames of game information when watching TF2 videos. I saw many of my fans parroting this tick rate shit in the comments without realizing it has nothing to do with Slender's accusations against me. In Fat Magic's case, I mentioned tick rate only because one of his flicks was so fast that we couldn't even see the frame where his crosshair was on the target's head. Just like in the video of yet another TF2 YouTuber, Lazy Purple.
I see my target, identify the path their head is traveling on, and then practically guess! You can't even see the frame where I cross his head!
That's why I mentioned tick rate. But in Slender's clip, we do see my crosshair on the demo man's head. Do you know how stupid this one-tick input phrase really is? Because almost every successful fast enough flick leads to a one-tick input. This phrase is so fucking stupid, in fact, that even the accuser themselves showed another one-tick input moment and they didn't find it weird, despite its exact same nature. Yes, my crosshair was on the soldier's head for one frame, or tick. Why the fuck isn't this trigger bot, Slender? Or this from the same video? Or this. Oh yeah, these are okay because they don't look suspicious enough. But this clip, oh, that's a different story because it looks so I can't. Zigzag motion is indication of trigger bot. No, it's not. Well, at least not this kind of zigzag motion, which is nothing but a flick. Slender, it's like you heard it somewhere that trigger bot users can be exposed by the so-called Z pattern, and now you think that any zigzag motion is trigger bot, dumbass. This is what the trigger bot Z pattern looks like. And now, Now, have a look at flicks from a very good sniper main, Jaybird. Look at this zigzag.
Gotta kill the sniper. Gotta kill the sniper.
Or this zigzag.
Get out behind me! Ah!
Or this zigzag. Or this zigs and zags and you... I must speedrun the rest of the trigger button clips by Slander because it's getting mentally tiring. Here's another one. Initial shot occurs at edge of head hitbox, followed by continued zigzag motion to head. It's called a flick, bitch. Completely normal, like the previous shots I've shown from Jaybird. And another one. Yeah, this one surprised me too when I was recording. Trigger butt failure occurs on first swipe, then activates at edge of engineer's head hitbox. Crosshair snaps back smoothly past possible aimbot. By the way, a trigger butt failure is pretty much when you flick without shooting, because your trigger butt didn't work. But Slander, which trigger butt failure and on which swipe? This swipe? Well, guess what, genius? I wasn't even trying to shoot that NG because I don't have the reaction of a fucking fly. The swipe is me aiming towards the enemy spawn as any sniper would, and only then did I notice the NG and hit another one of your good old one-tick inputs. Also, the fuck do you mean Crosshair snaps back smoothly possible aimbot? Plain aimbots never snap back after you kill someone, and they sure as hell do not snap smoothly. Here's how they snap in reality. Magic! Here's another one of those flick shots that is also trigger bot in Slender's book. He even explains what happened before the shot in question. Notice how the trigger bot doesn't shoot the demo yet, due to there not being a frame where the crosshair is over his head. There we go. Missing frames due to tick-rate desynchronization, motherfucker. The demo's head was in my crosshair, but you cannot see it. Or do you think that demo was immortal? Next, perfectly normal aim adjustment and a flick. Oh, sorry. Trigger bot failure as evident by violent zigzag motion overhead. Which fucking zigzag motion overhead? I adjusted my aim in a straight line because I just spotted that soldier and then I flicked. Next, an average air headshot and a man pick. Obviously, Slender doesn't think so. It's a trigger bot air shot. I mean, of course, because it's one tick input, duh. And possible wall hacks. Oh my god. Your upper brain should be studied, dude. I didn't even pre-aim. I just turned my mouse to the right so I could peek around the corner. Or do you expect me to observe this fucking truck forever? And here you say, back to previous position to look legitimate. Didn't you just say that if I snapped back to the previous position, it was aimbot? Why do you contradict your own words so much? Yeah, the med pick is possible aimbot, guys. I'm on a whole new level. I pair trigger bot with plain aimbot. My cheating methods are beyond anyone's understanding. Next. Oh, wait. Oh. What was that? No fucking shot. You got it? Because I flicked without shooting? Yes, everybody. This is the only clip from the entire Slender's expose that is actually suspicious. This does look somewhat like a trigger bot failure. The problem is, these happen legitimately too. Not super often, but they do. And to differentiate trigger bot failures from legitimate ones, you should look for several instances of these failures happening in a short period of time. Moreover, to properly spot trigger bot cheaters, which is very difficult due to many factors, looking for these failures is not enough. You should understand the logic behind their shots and decision making very well in order to see a clear trigger bot pattern in someone's gameplay. I suggest y'all watch this video of mine later, which is the only time I've exposed a trigger bot cheater on my channel in 4 years. The only time. And only recently have we finally acquired good enough evidence of another trigger bot cheater, but that will be saved for one of the next videos. And so, we're done with the trigger bot part of the Slender's expose. One last part that is left is aimbot, aka the plain or classic aimbot accusations, which all come from my OG video, The Pistol Cheater Returns. He indeed does. Clip number 1 shows me shooting a scout and doing a weird snap at the very end. It does look weird, I'll give you that. But as soon as we get to Slender's explanation, Crosshair snaps smoothly back to original position after the scout is killed. Plain aimbots don't snap back smoothly to original positions. You know, this clip got myself confused too, because I had no idea what the snap even was. It wasn't aimbot, but it should have had some explanation, right? But then, while editing this video that you're watching, I figured it out. Oh my god, it's so difficult to pronounce this shit. I figured it out. It was game lag. Simple as. You can see it if you look closely. There was a few milliseconds of lag, which caused my crosshair to jump from one position to another, even in slow motion. Look at how fast the scout is moving. Then he suddenly almost stops in the air and then starts moving again. My crosshair also skips through these ticks where the scout slowed down, which is why it feels as if it teleported. The next and last clip has the same explanation. Pay attention to my movement. It is smooth at first, but after I jump, I begin randomly slowing down in the air, which is due to game. And that's why my crosshair teleports again. This finally concludes my explanation of the expose, as these are all the clips shown by the accuser. What can I say, Slender? Your video is complete and utter dog shit. It's somehow even worse than that bad message expose, where the accuser at least used proper terminology, because they turned out to be a closet cheater themselves. And no, guys, Slender is not a closet cheater. I know, it would have been funny as fuck. I'm pretty sure some of you can't wait to say this. Yo, Varabe, Slender is an obvious troll. Come on, man. You just got baited into replying to this dumb fucking video. Do you really think I didn't assume this? Okay, listen. I don't think that Slender's video is bait, because back in summer, he contacted Mega Scatterbomb, who is a person working on their own Tf2 anti-cheat, and shared his evidence with them. Mega stated that the evidence was flimsy at best, but that didn't stop Slender, with an A apparently, from uploading his expose half a year later. I don't lose anything from the situation, like at all, bait or not. At the very least, Slender's video contains an overwhelming amount of misinformation about cheats, so I'm getting the easiest reputation points of my life by replying to his cringe. The only thing I would have missed if I hadn't made this video is money. And money is fucking awesome, so let your homie make some, alright? And you people would have missed witnessing this goddamn circus, with Slender being one of the many clowns. So I think it's just about time we let other clowns provide some entertainment for us, without us even paying. I have prepared some of the goofiest comments on Slender's expose. I've always wanted to do something similar, but now I have a perfect opportunity. Let's begin with something not too bad and work our way up to the most deranged comments. Videos like these really make you wonder how many closeted cheaters exist in TF2. Many. You're not inventing a fucking bicycle here. I remember when Maxbox made his Spot the Cheater videos, it made it generally much easier to spot cheaters. These sorts of videos are helpful, so people know what kind of things to expect from cheating players. At least he's being nice. This comment showcases a huge problem in the TF2 community. A problem that I've showcased countless times in my videos, where I was accused of cheating for the dumbest reasons imaginable. This problem is brain-dead legits, who believe they know everything about cheats and try to control the narrative. You destroy them in a game, you're a cheater. You have some weird moments in your gameplay footage, you're a cheater. Who the fuck needs to actually think or fact-check when you can come up with things like projectile trigger bot or anti-OBS hiding silent aim? Slender has 6,500 hours of TF2. That's a lot. And he has no clue what he's talking about in his video at all. But the clips are suspicious, so why not spread misinformation about them and share this shit with people? Because they find videos about cheaters useful, and they learn from them. Those flicks are alarmingly weird. As someone who has spent a lot of time in TF2 and FPS games in general, I never curve or zigzag my mouse before or after a flick. Flick shots are always straight, especially after a shot. You see what I mean? If you don't flick like Mr. Chicken Shred here, then you're using trigger button. And he states it as a fact. The swipe is always straight, before and after a shot. I think this person is flickophobic, and he has a Quake logo as his profile picture. You don't deserve. I swear, I've watched a couple of his videos, and I immediately knew he was a cheater and a fraud. A lot of his skills feel very unnatural, like I've watched many TF2 videos. His skills and the way he plays always stood out as weird for me most of the times. So why didn't you make a video then? Or were you scared of the consequences? Thank you for this video. I was waiting for a really long time until someone calls out this hypocrite. And thanks to you too. It takes courage to let everyone know that you're obsessed with some Russian TF2 YouTuber. I'm not surprised at all, lol. His content is literally what cheaters think is entertaining, making other people rage. Guys, did you enjoy that Streamer Has a Meltdown Live and Rage Quits video of mine? Because, you know, it kind of blew up and has 1.3 million views. Oh, you did? You did. You found it entertaining. Well, get exposed, losers. You all cheat. Wouldn't be surprised. It looks like trigger bot and silent aim. The giveaway is his ego and how he acts. So someone's ego and the way they act are the giveaway of them using cheats in computer games. Got it. These people play against us in Tf2 matches every day. Isn't it scary? Shouldn't it be obvious? He main sniper. The only thing that's obvious here is that you're a fucking retard. I was never a sniper main. There is a reason he always uses throwaway accounts. Man, since you clearly have a development delay, I feel obligated to help you out. You can change your username and profile picture on Steam as many times as you want. There is no need to change accounts. You're welcome. Well, if you have plenty of blatant cheaters and bot hosters as moderators in your... What? What? This guy knows something about my mods that I don't. It definitely says something about you. Ah, the classic guilt by association. Please, God, let this be true. And 9 fucking praying emotes. It's clearly a kid though, you can tell. And it's about to get much worse, because we're getting to the juiciest ones. I hope that these accusations are true, so people can actually have a reason to dislike him. This is such a degenerate thing to say, my man. His ego is annoying, and his mid-writers are as annoying as he is. This weirdo left 37 comments, in which he mentioned mid-writing 10 times. I have a feeling he's projecting something here. As to what exactly, I don't think I want to know. He also stated that he usually prefers to stay neutral on accusations, and then baselessly accused me of faking my videos about cheaters. I consider the next comment to be the worst by far, because it's a bit... You know, it's just not okay. It's not something a normal person would say, in my opinion. Honestly, Varabe is one of those dudes that despite doing something good from time to time, he has such an egocentric and I'm so Sigma type of personality. What does it mean? That just makes me secretly pray for him to be humbled despite consuming his content. The wildest part is that this comment has 200 plus likes. What the fuck is wrong with TF2 community? Or is it normal to have such strong parasocial relationships with people online and voice it out loud like that? Am I missing something here? Because I don't believe what I'm fucking seeing. It's insane. Okay, 2 more to wrap the video up. I'm not quite sure what people expected from Varabe when their primary source of content revolves around trying to anger others. I don't even try most of the time, be real, pal. Varabe isn't the only person in the TF2 community that does this. This dude then proceeds to cry about getting banned from my Discord server because he once tried to report an alleged cheater and Midnight did not accept his evidence. So this fairy ass started throwing tantrums, saying how he's worked with the Source engine since 2015. This is his Steam profile, by the way. Nice. Good shit. Talk about angering others in TF2. So, this hypocrite, a confirmed long-term cheater with years of experience with the Source engine, and you know, he's most likely not lying as his first community ban happened back in 2015, did not find a single flaw in Slender's video and agreed with it. Ezzy, how is it even remotely fucking possible that a legitimate player, myself, who has never touched TF2 cheats in his whole life, who has never looked into the Source engine, whatever that helps with, is much more competent in the subject than a cheater with almost 10 years of experience? I don't think I've ever seen anyone embarrass themselves like this. You are a miserable piece of shit, my guy. And to conclude this public execution and to hint about a bigger one coming, just one more comment. Makes fun of cheaters and makes videos about them. Cues with the cheaters tagged from time to time. Whatever. Has Discord moderators that cheat in TF2. Possible closet cheating. Absolute cinema. Not gonna lie, I almost feel bad for this guy. I didn't expect he would dig himself a deeper grave, but he has proven me wrong. You probably have questions. Who is this guy? Why does he say that I queue up with cheaters? Why does he still talk about my moderators being cheaters? Why does he sound so biased? Does it have anything to do with spy mains? And most importantly, does it have anything to do with swipes? Trust me, I cannot fucking wait to answer all these questions. But I can't do that yet, as there is still a lot of work to do. One thing I can tell you for sure, though, is that you better subscribe right now, hit that motherfucking bell, and wait for probably the biggest nuke on my channel ever. I promise you this, it will be so goddamn worth it. And what's also worth checking is my previous upload if you want to learn more about cheating functions. But that's it for today's video, and I hope you enjoyed it. Have a great day, everybody. See you in the next one. Peace. Team Tf2, a game that has lasted 15 years while still retaining its relevance, which is simply phenomenal. During these 15 long years, Tf2 went from being an unknown cartoonish game from Valve's legendary Orange Box to becoming one of the most popular FPS games with its amazing lore and regular updates. But sadly, it is now nearly abandoned by its developers. This has had a huge impact on Tf2's current state, such as the rapidly growing amount of cheaters and bots, and no major updates in 6 years. More so, the community is no longer what most would consider to be friendly or welcoming to new players. Though, in spite of these problems, there are still many new players who choose to download and play the game. Even with all the negativity, people are continuing to play it, they continue making videos about it. But just like with any YouTube content, there is always a rather dark side to uncover. And in today's video, I will be covering one of the most unhinged and dangerous individuals that I've ever seen to be part of the Tf2 community. Today, I will tell you the story of Tf2. And if you, my dear viewer, will genuinely enjoy this video, make sure to click that subscribe button. Let's jump right into it. So, who is Venusian Rapper, and what exactly makes him dangerous? Well, it's a very complicated question, and to see the whole picture we need to fully understand the motives of his actions. What drives him? What makes him upload certain videos? If we understand this, it will give us a slight idea of who really hides behind their YouTube channel. Let's go back to the year 2020, as this is when Venusian uploaded his very first Team Fortress 2 video. This is where it all began.
Play some casual TF2.
That man got wrecked.
Got him.
As it usually goes with almost any beginner YouTuber, Venusian's first videos had fairly awkward gameplay commentary, yet nothing about them felt out of the ordinary, just another guy trying to record videos of himself playing a game that he enjoys. But the thing is, these videos did not stand out from other Tf2 content on YouTube, so no one was really watching them. If you ever decide to make videos on such an old game like Tf2, you will have to find something fresh to get people's attention. And later on, Venusian would come up with the idea for his Tf2 Cringe series, something that would finally catch the attention of this long-standing community.
You better kill him. I swear to God, you suck a dick.
I had 20 health, you dirty whore.
Yeah, and you took the med kit too, so you had even more than 20 health. You just fucking suck.
Basically, the Tf2 Cringe series is about Venusian trying to find players that he considers being idiots, or how he prefers calling them spurgs, and then he starts trolling them while recording. He tries to put the main focus on screwing with people instead of playing the game itself. Venusian Rapper is a troll, at least that's what we see for now. Of course, not everyone approved of his ways of trolling people due to his troll language towards others, but these videos would finally start getting more views. The videos that would do especially well were the ones about targeting and trolling Tf2 cheaters, because, as we all know, making fun of cheaters never gets old. Eventually, Venusian started having an understanding of which content his audience would watch the most. And as a person who seems to not care about all the negative feedback, he would start uploading more trolling videos. However, this is where we can notice something rather objectionable about his content, which is him paying very special attention to someone's sexuality, nationality, or gender, and making fun of it.
You will never be a real woman. This game's player base is comprised of mentally ill individuals. Being a homosexual is a joke. Ukraine sucks. They're super corrupt. I'm glad they're finally getting what they fucking deserve.
Outside of these tendencies, we can also notice him provoking people constantly in very obnoxious and off-putting ways.
Oh wow, you streaming right now?
Sadly.
Oh, okay. Might want to remove that VOD before it, gets reported and you get a strike.
I don't record any of my games. I only get clips.
Why do you sound so depressed?
Because I get to wake up every day and meet people like you.
Now, I understand that just like with humor, what counts as trolling is subjective, and each person has their own limits of how far they can go. Yet, it is perfectly clear that there are little to no limits for Venusian Rapper. With every new Tf2 Cringe episode, he will start going past the point of trolling people to provoke anger from their own behavior, to instead targeting personal things about them, to bully and harass them. He would even start sharing links to the profiles of those who had made it into his videos, often riling up his fans during the video and, without saying it, leading them to go on their own witch hunts. But what truly helps the exponentially rising edginess of Venusian's content is the amount of comments that do not only tolerate, but approve his approach. As I have said before, the Tf2 community is an extremely hostile place nowadays. It is filled with those who find racism, homophobia and transphobia not just funny, but based, as cringe as it sounds. And if these kinds of viewers suddenly find someone who does the same in their Tf2 videos, well, this someone will become a role model to them. And Venusian certainly knew it. This led to his content becoming more and more aggressive. His vocabulary went completely out of the usual boundaries of what was appropriate, and the topics that he would begin bringing up in his videos stopped having any real connection to the game as it was being played.
Like, I don't understand why anybody who lives in a Western civilization would want to be a Muslim. It's just kind of weird. But honestly, it makes sense for the Middle East, you know, in those countries where you fucking shit in a hole and wipe with your hand.
But then, what is trolling and what is not? There must be some sort of a line that Venusian would not cross, right? Not really. You know there's something wrong when trolling starts having some personal reasons behind it. Venusian rapper fully realized that stirring up drama gets him the most attention on this platform, and naturally he kept posting more. In fact, random Tf2 players stopped being the only targets for him, and he soon started going after other Tf2 content creators by making fun of their videos and personalities. He would roast them for trying to start a career on YouTube.
Too many losers out there like Mikey Mike, making videos for a career is what
He would roast them for being boring and lame.
Speaking of cringe, here comes Sam Wiz in denial of how bad his channel really is.
He has roasted them for drawing no safe for work art, which is a very specific thing to point out.
Filling in for Starry Crow, he's busy drawing food or sex. You're down bad for focusing that grind set. How you gonna draw that shit without regrets?
Obviously, these videos were receiving even more attention, but this is exactly where things would start becoming odd. Venusian suddenly began bringing up the topic of pedophilia in his videos. And no, I don't mean that he mentioned it once or twice. You can see him talking about it a bit too often. He accuses others of it all the time.
Why are you projecting so much about touching kids, dude? Are you actually a pedophile? Oh, look, dominated the racist pedophile. Get owned, retard. I guess all Russians are fucking pedophiles. They are racist cheater pedophiles. Muted over here is like, oh yeah, grooming kids, so funny, haha. Probably a closeted pedophile himself.
One video that still doesn't sit right in my head is the one where Venusian accused a guy of being a P-word because of that guy saying something clearly ironic.
What did you just say? So you're a pedophile too? What's wrong with you? We should kick you. Pedophiles aren't allowed in this game. Kick me and not the pedophile that just said the age of consent should be lower.
This tasteless joke was enough for Venusian to make a 20-minute video where he was gaslighting this guy and everybody on the server into believing that he was a child predator. He even called a video like this and left the guy's Steam profile in the description. It's so weird. It's a very peculiar thing about Venusian rapper for sure, but funnily enough, this is exactly how I personally got to know this guy. Around 2 years ago, Venusian joined my Discord server because apparently he was a fan of mine at the time, but I couldn't have possibly expected what this would turn into down the line. This would turn into him accusing members of my Discord server of grooming.
And I worn a really loose boxer that day. Some said my PP was showing under the skirt. This 15-year-old kid just admitted to sending pictures of himself to other people in your server. Literal child.
Of course, there has never been any evidence of this occurring, but it has never stopped Venusian from making very loud claims. This was my first experience with Venusian rapper. By the way, this same exact situation almost happened to another content creator, to the most rapidly growing Tf2 channel at the time, Maxo. Venusian built plans on exposing Maxo's Discord server of grooming too, but eventually he gave up on that idea. And from now on, I'll continue telling you the story from my perspective, because after all these events, I got involved in this whole Venusian situation, and I witnessed everything that was about to happen. There's something extremely important to point out about this whole drama around my Discord server. It is Venusian's girlfriend. You see, it was her who had collected all of the chat messages for him. Her username was Jane Dome. There was another person called Pinkstar Lavender who introduced themselves in my DMs as an online friend of Jane Dome. Lavender wanted to settle down the whole situation because they knew it was blown completely out of proportion, so they wanted to talk to Jane and Venusian about it. I want you to remember these two names because they will play the key role later in this video. Back to Venusian. It should be perfectly clear by now that he's someone who is ready to use any tiny opportunity as a reason to create drama on his channel to gain views. The way he makes his videos is almost always the same. Finding his target, trying to paint this target out as the bad guy while trying to make himself look like the good guy, then uploading this to his channel to show his fans what he wants them to see. This is some distinctly manipulative behavior, like in this video of his, for example, where he's accusing yet another guy of being a P-word.
Are you a closeted pedophile?
Yeah.
What? What?
This is what Venusian uploaded, but here is the actual backstory. This Neon guy had been leaving funny comments on Venusian's Steam account, and after getting on his nerves, Neon was stalked on Discord by Venusian, who was spamming voice calls for an hour. Eventually, they did have a voice call, and Venusian only put a small part of it into his video, but the thing is, Neon had Venusian muted and was talking to someone else in Tf2 because he was playing it while on the call. We can even hear him talking in the background.
What? What?
But Venusian made it look like Neon answered his question, so he called him a p***l and uploaded his video. But what's even more suspicious is this: Neon got doxxed. His real name and some other personal information got leaked on multiple Discord servers, including mine. He got doxxed the same day Venusian's video on him was uploaded. Rather interesting coincidence, isn't it? Speaking of leaking someone's personal information, there is this video on Venusian's channel of him making fun of a CSGO YouTuber, Noobdog. This guy had roasted Venusian's videos on his stream, to which Venusian uploaded a reply, but what he also did is he put Noobdog's potentially real name in the title. I tried to briefly look for information on Noobdog online, but I couldn't find anything that revealed his real name. And even if the name that Venusian leaked is not real, it's very concerning that he makes things this personal over something insignificant. As months were going by, Venusian continued causing controversy left and right, but one thing about him became obvious, and it's that his ego started getting out of control. Surely the growing amount of supportive comments towards his videos fed his ego, yet the criticism has only begun hurting. It's come to the point of Venusian replying to almost every negative comment. He casually calls some of the commenters pedophiles, again, just because of their profile pictures. He makes fun of their content or the channels that they're subscribed to. He hearts his own replies. He makes it so personal and weird in the comment section. This all could have been explained away as Venusian playing a character or something, I would guess, but we see that it's not only about negative comments. He has been making lots of videos on those who call him out, just like he did with his Noobdog and Neon videos that I've shown you. Lots of videos. His already inflated ego is so easy to hurt that he stopped being careful and started putting light on the very same information about himself that had been desperately trying to hide for years. What is this information, you wonder? Let's find it out. There was a random guy named Player who made a video about Venusian because they had a beef between them. In this video, Player brought up a very interesting rumor. Venusian seemed to have had a Twitter account that got banned because of him drawing some questionable, not safe for work art.
Right, an adult that draws food porn, I shouldn't really be...
No, I do not.
Yeah. Yes, the fuck you do. Then show me your Twitter.
I wouldn't have even known about this if Venusian hadn't uploaded his own reply to the Player's video where he did his classic "He's bad, I am good" stuff. It was surprising to find out that Venusian might have drawn some nasty stuff himself when he has called out others for it in his videos, which is very hypocritical. So first I had to look for any other videos on Venusian from someone who had also experienced the pleasure of meeting him, and luckily I found something. Best argument on Tf2. It is a 25-minute video of Venusian having a meltdown over a gay person named Conniptions on a random Tf2 server. In this video, Venusian says that most gay people are pedophiles. Yes, he brings up this topic again.
There's a reason why a majority of homosexuals rape children is because they keep raping children.
Later in the video, Conniptions tells an edgy joke in return, which makes Venusian lose it.
Sorry, yeah, I fucking love children, man. Oh, just those tiny little things. Excuse me? Why would you make a joke about that? Because it's a funny joke, because you're being so fucking obnoxious. Yeah, rape children is a funny joke? What the fuck is wrong with you? No, everybody else knows that. Like, I honestly believe he would rape a child because he's gay. I'm asking you why you're a child. You just admitted on camera you wanted to rape children. On camera? You're recording this? Yeah. Oh, good. I'm glad that everyone else can watch this and make fun of you just as much as we have.
I still find it hilarious that Venusian said that he was recording everything, that he recorded Conniptions admitting to being a P-word, but after seeing that all of the other players on that same Tf2 server and most of the comments to this video were not on his side, he saw the comments because he left a few himself, but they're gone now. Venusian decided not to upload it to his channel. I guess it was too difficult for him to paint as a successful troll, and this is what happens when things do not go in Venusian's favor. But that's not all of it. One of the comments stated this: "Funnily enough, I do have some ties to this Venusian individual, and in a few hours I'll release a voice chat he and his friends had with me and my friends. It shows his entire creative process is just to get angry at the internet and then edit it down to the parts that make it seem like he's an epic troll. Couldn't have said it better myself." The video was uploaded, and Venusian is the first one to say something in the very beginning. Can you guess what it is?
Talking about autism and schizophrenia for
Abandoned
no
by
reason.
their disappointments to their own families. You know what's even sadder? This is the only form of entertainment that they have, is listening to somebody else live a better life.
He was acting extremely narcissistic. Venusian genuinely believed that those guys in the voice call were envious of his life, that they were all obsessed with him and wanted to be him, just because they were fooling around. There is something more important, which is in the description to this video. Find it funny that Venus calls people trans p-words, but also draws loli fuda. Uh-oh. Loli fuda? So not only are there 2 people now who have mentioned Venusian drawing some degenerate stuff, but allegedly he also used to sexualize underage characters. This is definitely not something you expect from a person who unironically calls someone a pedophile for their profile picture. Anyways, I realized that to find the truth, I needed to dig deeper. I needed to find Venusian's Twitter account. So I finally remembered that Venusian had once been in my Discord server and had advertised his deleted Twitter, not Venusian. I also found his second Twitter, rapper Venusian, to prove that this was his Twitter too. Here's a tweet from someone who tagged Venusian and Jane Doe, his girlfriend. So they both were not safe for work artists. After getting his tags, I first checked the replies to his tweets from others because they were and are still available. And of course, Venusian called people p-words on Twitter as well. Jesus Christ, like, how is it not suspicious to talk about it this much? As for the other posts, it's evident that he was being very rude to other artists, calling their art garbage. He was personally attacking people as well. It's the exact same abominable behavior from his videos, but on Twitter. And if it's possible for him to justify his actions on YouTube with trolling, here it's so plain to see that he's just a big asshole. But what about his art? And how do we get to see it when his Twitter accounts were suspended? Wayback Machine. Wayback Machine is a huge archive that has billions of deleted pages saved, including Venusian's Twitter posts. Let's have a look at what he used to draw on Twitter. Besides drawing all sorts of not safe for work stuff, which most would consider being okay, he did draw this. Yeah, these are kids. These are definitely children, which are about to do something. And when Venusian got called out for this art, he continued drawing it, but he added the "all characters are aged up" thing. These are aged up, everybody. This boy is definitely in his 20s, look at him. This is definitely an adult being strangled by some milkers, a dwarf it seems. And to show you what Venusian generally thinks about drawing underage characters in sexual scenarios. Someone said, "Why do people care? It's a cartoon character, not like you're drawing someone's actual child." Venusian replied with, "I agree. People are dumb." Here's a screenshot of some woman calling Venusian out for drawing kids, and this is how he replied. He posted her face and called her fat. So babe, true alpha male energy right here. Nonetheless, I was 100% sure that Twitter was not the only place where Venusian uploaded his art. So I decided to Google his different aliases, and I came across the place where Venusian had been lurking for probably the longest amount of time. His natural habitat. 4chan. More specifically, 4chan draw threads. I found his commission sheet from 2020, and oh boy, did he draw some very bad stuff. It goes way beyond any creepy fetishes, and I don't want to even imagine what could have been drawn by Venusian for money, knowing that he was that bold on Twitter. And again, it wouldn't have been such a huge issue if Venusian didn't call others degenerates for the same things that he had drawn himself. Should I even mention that Venusian was acting the same on 4chan as well, you know, attacking people and their art and so on. Whatever. Ultimately, Venusian got banned from Twitter, and it looks like he left 4chan draw threads as well. And after all of this, he started uploading regularly on YouTube. Makes perfect sense. So the art rumors turned out to be true. And while this Venusian's bizarre hobby was still remaining in the shadows, he kept making Tf2 videos, and even created a Discord server, where he once stated that his server was going to be a social experiment, whatever this means, and that it would be deleted soon. But in July 2022, Venusian made a decision that would cost him everything. A decision that would suddenly reveal some of the truly horrifying things about his personality. There is a pretty big TF2ber with the name of Fat Magic. There is a funny class in Team Fortress 2 called Sniper, and Fat Magic loves playing Sniper a lot. He hits headshots all the time, gets accused of cheating in his videos because of it, and at a certain point, Fat Magic became Venusian rapper's main target. Venusian uploaded a video where he accused Fat Magic of cheating, providing some evidence, and this video created the biggest controversy in the community in a while, becoming Venusian's most popular video to date. But the problem is, the evidence was very weak, and the way it was introduced didn't quite click with the regular viewer. It was not received well at all, getting a great amount of dislikes and criticism in the comment section. But Venusian doubled down on his accusations with the release of his second, 1-hour-long video on Fat Magic, which objectively provided even less clear evidence than the third video, but none of it worked out. Meanwhile, people were uploading reply videos to the whole Venusian Fat Magic controversy, but no one quite debunked the actual cheating evidence, which is why I, as someone who deals with Tf2 cheaters a lot, decided to jump on the Fat Magic bandwagon as well. I usually love to hype up my big videos on my YouTube community tab, which is exactly what I did. I made a community post teasing my upcoming Fat Magic video, but then something completely unexpected happened. I guess the way I phrased everything might have made Venusian think that the video was going to be on him instead, because he left a comment to my community post. Let me guess, my ex-girlfriend contacted you regarding things I did in the past and have already moved past and grown from. Okay. This is something. You think I didn't know about that? You could have asked me yourself about it. I'm open for an interview. Being so sure that my video was going to be on him, Venusian also started discussing it in his Discord server, or a much better way to say it, he was having a full-on damage control going on. Knowing that people started finding out about his art, he sent some of his artwork, trying to make it seem that he'd never drawn anything bad. He was repeatedly saying that I'm trying to retaliate against his videos about my Discord server, that I apparently admitted to sending spies after him. He deleted the general and memes channels and created new ones to erase any other possible evidence. He's probably gonna make some exposed video on me over some shit I did in the past. The truth is, his ex-girlfriend didn't message me back then. I had no idea what was going on. Venusian freaked out about something and started this damage control campaign in his Discord server. Still, why would Venusian's ex message me, and who even was she? Was she maybe Jane Doe from before? And if so, did it have anything to do with their breakup? Because it definitely felt like something bad had happened. Whoever she was, she didn't even have to tell me, because Venusian would later confess in everything himself. His Discord server had a private channel with only his closest friends and moderators in there, and this is what Venusian said in that channel. I guess the first part is to why my ex-girlfriend contacted him. I was abusive to her. I would constantly cheat on her online with multiple women at a time. There was a single occurrence where I did physically strike her, which she no doubt mentioned. Eventually, this culminated in me cheating on her in real life with her best friend at the time, something which broke her emotionally and mentally. The second part involves the multiple women I engaged in sexual behavior with while cheating on her, including multiple women involved in a Discord community for an animator named Antunes. There was a girl from Estonia who, despite my protests, wanted to engage in casual sexual conversations. She was 16, turning 17 when these messages began. Oh no, here we fucking go. You're probably wondering how old was Venusian when he was sexting the minor, and don't you worry, we'll get to that. He also mentioned that he'd once posted nudes of another minor on 4chan. Venusian thought that this confession would remain in his secret channel, but after seeing such a nuke being dropped, one of the moderators immediately left Venusian's Discord server and leaked everything to me and to some others, who expectedly started spreading the word everywhere, and Venusian's paranoia went to 100%. Everybody was a spy of mine at that point. He couldn't trust anybody anymore, so he started banning people. In the very end, when his Discord server had barely any members left, Venusian finally revealed the idea behind his so-called Discord social experiment. If you want to read everything, you can pause the video, but summing it all up, Venusian was bragging about being a troll on the internet for 10 years, making multiple communities burn down in flames from his trolling actions, and that me releasing this video is the greatest trolling on the internet in all of history. I know, the lunacy levels here are simply out of this world. And shortly after this, Venusian would delete his Discord server. So now we know that his ex was in fact Jane Doe, and she had her story to tell, which made Venusian so scared that he confessed to some terrible stuff. But it's all about to get much worse, when Venusian would try to make his way out of this controversy. After all, I did upload my video on Fat Magic, debunking all of the Venusian's evidence. But I also had my little investigation dedicated to Venusian going on in the background. Not about all of his controversy yet, but about him cheating. in TF2. Yes, Venusian is also a confirmed cheater that accuses others of cheating and makes fun of them in his videos. Deal with it. This is only the tiniest part of his hypocrisy. So I mentioned at the end of my Fat Magic video that I also had plans to make one on Venusian rapper. In the meantime, lots of others were already uploading their exposed videos on him, highlighting his Discord confession, his not safe for work art, all of that. Venusian's channel started losing subscribers rapidly due to the drama, but he knew for a fact that the worst video was yet to come. He needed to do something about it in order to save face, and he did. After seeing that my Fat Magic video was in fact on Fat Magic and that his ex seemingly had not contacted me, Venusian finally realized something. There was no other proof to his Discord confession